The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. Hold on, folks. I got to turn off the old bouncing machine because it is ringing the bell here, and I got to make sure I take this off. Today, our guest is going to be none other than Shane Smolian, thewolftrader.com. And tomorrow, folks, if you get a chance, try to tune in tomorrow because something unusual is going to happen. A couple of weeks ago, one of our friends, someone that I know, a customer from Dubai, gave me a call and said, look, he said, I bought that book, the Floor Trader's Handbook. And he said, I'm here with my son. We're trying to figure it out. And he said, I'll pay you $500 if you'll spend an hour with me on this book. And I said, well, an hour is a long time. And I said, $500 is a lot of money. He said, that's all I'm prepared to pay. And I tell you what, here's what I'll do. I said, I'll spend the hour with you, and you don't have to pay me unless you want to pay me. But no matter what happens, I'm going to be able to share it with somebody else if, in fact, it is good. And he said, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Well, I did that this morning at 3:30, and he really, really liked it. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to share with you, believe it or not, folks, there's a secret in AB equals CD, and only a few people have ever seen it. The person that showed it to me was Dr. Al Larson, and showed it to me quite a few years ago, way, a little bit beyond my pay grade by about 4 stratospheres. But through the years, I've been able to pick it up. But I'm going to share this with you tomorrow and go through some of the things that we're looking at here today. Okay, now let's take a look at Bitcoin. As you can see here, folks, we've been going sideways here for 2 weeks. That's an ABCD pattern that can't even make a 382 retracement. We already know what that looks like, folks, and that's not a good sign. So let's keep our wits about us because this is one that could be very, very interesting here down the road here because we're looking for a potential to get to, this 22,000 level. That's the main thing that we want to be watching. Just to give you a little heads up here, I'll just put this in. Here's what hold on a second. I'll get this up here just a minute. And this is where I started from yesterday. I wanted to get this up here. This is what we'll be covering tomorrow a little bit. And basically what I'm going to go through is how I got started doing all this, the importance of risk management and the ABCD and stuff like that. And we're going to go over some of the things. And I'll share with you, why I think this work is very, very important. So we need to do that. Now, I want to bring something to your attention that is very important. It may or may not mean anything, folks, but we've been watching this market for quite some time, and that is Dr. Copper. And Dr. Copper is telling us something is not right on Wall Street, is what Dr. Copper is telling us, because this used to be 490. Now it's we'll hit 430 yesterday. We had a slightly lower low of 432. We've now rallied up to almost a 382 retracement here. But this is telling us that there's something not right. I know there's a lot of news about China cutting back on all the stuff, and we're having sell-offs in the grains today in some of the markets anyway. So very interesting what we have going on here with some of these things. So I think it's important that we keep our wits about us because this crop that we have out there for soybeans and all the other, this is just in the growing season, folks. So this is just a normal thing that the hedge funds are in there and they're getting whacked. And somebody's got to be buying it down here. So we're waiting for a time to, put our foot into the water. And we've got a couple things that we're watching, and we're going to be able to keep a close eye on those. Now, let's take a look here at this right here, which is the price of Apple. We have taken out yesterday's high by a shade here. Last price I saw was around 130. That's the 50% retracement. That's the ABCD. Closing above, 131 is telling us this thing is going to go higher and higher and higher. But, we should have had a lot of resistance at 130.60. I don't know where Apple's trading right now, but 130.60 was a very key level. And we'll have to wait to see what the trading gods are going to tell us what's going to happen. I know today is Fed Day, and they usually do something crazy, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But anyway, those are just a few of the things that you want to, keep our wits about us and see that these things are. See, it's at 1:30, so it's already sold off about 60 cents. Thank you, Terry, for putting that up. I would certainly like that. Something else happened nice to me this morning, folks. I got another phone call from the United Arab Emirates, and it was from Kuwait. And they have a technicians group there, and they're having a meeting in Abu Dhabi also, in Dubai, and that's going to be in October. And I'm actually going to go over, and I'm going to trade for 2 days live. And they're going to send me first class, and with Sarah also. And of course, their tickets are free because they fly. They fly so much. They got so many miles that they have free tickets. But well, not free, but pretty close. And so we started to negotiate how much am I going to get paid for those 2 days. And he said, "What would you prefer to do?" And I said, "Well, what I prefer to do is have you put up a $50,000 account, let me trade it for 2 days, and I get the profits. And we have a $7,500 drawdown. If I lose $7,500." I said, "Yeah, you don't have to pay me. We'll shake hands, and that's it." And I said, "Because that's usually my rate for 2 days is $7,500. He says, "That's a great deal." He said, "We can live with that." And so I said, "How many people am I going to be doing this with?" And he said, "We're probably going to have 50. And he says, "We're trying to get somebody else from the UK, but we're having a hard time getting in contacting, to do this." And I said, "Who are you trying to get?" And he said, "Tom Hugard." I said, "Let me make a call." So it looks like Tom and I are going to go over and do some trading in front of these guys for a couple of days. Tom and I went to Kiev in the Ukraine this was 4 years ago to do a Forex seminar, and it was really crowded. It must have been 500 people there. The most amazing thing about that seminar, folks, people came up to me and wanted to get my picture taken, not because of Larry Pesavento, but because I was one of the speakers at TFNN. So many people listened to TFNN there. It was really, really, really warm to see what's happening. But the most amazing thing about Kiev, folks, they start eating dinner around 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night. I mean, there's nobody there until 9:30, 10 o'clock. And they serve till like 2 o'clock in the morning. Really crazy. The other thing is everybody there smokes those European cigarettes, so you got to be prepared to take a gas mask if you're going to plan to breathe or anything. A couple of questions about the Los Angeles Dodgers that Mr. Z asked me about. The reason why I got very lucky is I mentioned yesterday that Louis Bernstein had 2 boys. They were big Dodger fans, and this was my second or third week at Drexel. This was in August of '76, and Tom was recuperating from his surgery, and my boss knew that because Tommy had come into the office and opened an account, and he said he knows Tommy John. He said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Any chance we could get to meet him?" And I said, "Sure." So I called him. I said, "Hey," I said, "a friend of ours here would like to come down to Dodger Stadium. When are you going to be there?" So I go there every day. He said, "I work out." And I said, "Well, you want to, give him a tour of the clubhouse and stuff?" He said, "Great, sounds good." So he took the 2 boys, and after that, it was downhill, Bubba. It was downhill. 877-927-6648. Billy Ray is in the house.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE. And you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks. 1 second. I have to double check something. Private, I don't know what that means. Private, I don't. Shane will be our guest at the break. Yes, I'm sure of that. I'm getting a private message. Don't understand what it means, but we'll move on from there. Okay, let's move. Hold on 1 second, folks. I think we have a caller coming in, but I'm not sure. All right, let's move on to what we're looking at now, and that is the, hold on, today's Fed day. Of course, we're probably going to see the market go up and down 100 to 200 points easily in either direction in the Dow Jones. So get ready for that, because everybody likes to react to the Fed and no one knows exactly what to do about it. So that's the main thing. The other thing, folks, we're having a pretty good sell-off again in the grains, and get ready for that, because if you belong to the 24/7 group, we've sent out a couple things on the corn and the beans that look real interesting, and you want to keep your heads up for that. We expect that to be sometime tomorrow. It could be because of the Fed day today, because everything gets so crazy, but we're having a tremendous sell-off in these things, and this is nothing more than a normal sell-off in a market. This is our first major ABCD pattern that we're seeing here in the corn, and then also in the soybeans. So both of those are very important. The only thing that troubles me about the things that are happening in the market, folks, is the fact that copper is acting so poorly with the stock market as strong as it is. They don't even talk about Dr. Copper anymore. Folks, it's down 70 cents a pound. That's a huge drop since May, and it's bouncing, very, very gingerly today. So this could be a harbinger that maybe the market's going to roll over. I know when it does roll over, sometime, my guess is between 2021 and 2027, it'll probably have a correction. And when it does, it's going to hurt a lot of people, just like it did in 08, just like it did in 2000, just like it did in 19. I don't think there's going to be a crash. I don't ever, plan on doing those. Those happen once every generation or two, so you don't really need to do that. But corrections can happen, and a 10% correction in this market would actually be pretty healthy. But the problem is the type of people that are in it now. I mean, I'm watching Bloomberg every morning, to see what's going on, and the people that I'm listening to, I mean, they're in la land. I mean, they're not even. I mean, the things that they're talking about are just. And I'm talking about earnings and forward earnings and stuff like that, things that, as a technician, you don't really have to know that, but that's neither here nor there. Sorry about the phone, folks. That's my daughter calling in. I'll take care of that just a little bit later. Anyway, let's make a note tomorrow to try to come on, because I'm going to share some stuff that I think you'll really I know you're really going to enjoy it, because the gentleman and his son that listened to it, they were more than thankful. In fact, my deal with them was to pay $500 for the hour if they liked it. And I said, you don't have to pay me until you like it. Well, they paid me twice that. So I was able to put the coffers into the old charitable bin and help out somebody that needed it this week. And so that made it, well worthwhile. But tomorrow you're going to get it free. And the reason why I'm doing it is that it'll stimulate some interest in, what the ABCs are really all about, and also technical analysis. The reason why technical analysis is becoming so popular, folks, started back on April the 17th of 2000 when Andrew Lowe wrote a paper for Business Week saying this alchemy will yield pure gold. And what he did was he said the market is chaotic in nature, but within the chaos are non-random patterns that repeat over and over again. Well, this basically repudiated the work of Burton Malkiel, who was a professor, and I think he's still there. Well, he's 80, he's in almost 90 now. He was at Columbia, and he basically wrote a book before then called The Random Walk Down Wall Street. Well, what Andrew Lowe did, he proved to them mathematically that the market was not random. I mean, it was chaotic, but within the chaos are these non-random patterns that repeat over and over again. Well, Dr. Al Larson showed me something many years ago when he came out to Pismo Beach to visit us at the trading house. He and Twentyman were also good friends, and he's a fabulous mathematician and computer guy. And he sat down and he told us, and since I was working on the artificial intelligence program and doing stuff with the MIPS computer, he was showing us things with Twentyman working with harmonic numbers and stuff like that. And he put it all together in about a half-hour lecture about why things worked, how they worked. And that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow for a little bit, just to give you a little flavor. Some of this stuff is certainly not random. And boy, it doesn't work all the time. But boy, when it does, shut the front door and raise the rent. You've got to be prepared to be ready for it. So those are a few things that we're keeping a very close eye on here this morning. All right, now let's move on to something else that I want to talk about, and that is the euro. We're getting ready for something big in the euro, folks. I want to bring this to your attention because we've been talking about it for quite some time. I want to get it up here. It might be today. In fact, that we've got the Fed in there today, but you got to watch this level in the euro at 120.40. That's going to be a very, very interesting one to look out. Yes, I know limit hogs are down again to limit down with Marshall. That was the big ABCD that we looked at when they were trading up around the 120 level, and I believe they're below Are they below 110 now, Marshall? I haven't heard my beeper. Yeah, they have to be below 110 because my beeper went off at 109 and change. So that tells us that they've come down 10 cents, which is a pretty big move in hog. So anyway, the Ruby's saying thank you for the copper yesterday. Well, the copper just made he made a beautiful double bottom down there, or ABCD bottom at the 432 level. They made a lower low of 430, down 111 on the hogs. That's still pretty good. And what you're looking at here in the hogs is the fact that why is the copper so weak, given the fact that stocks have been so strong? They've been following along, in step since in May. That step changed, and nobody even talks very much about it. And yet you see it and say, gee, what's the reasoning behind that? Well, maybe demand is slowing down. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that, they just don't want as much copper as they want to add. I don't know. All I know is it's acting differently than what it was. And that's, a very, very important thing to remind ourselves as we're looking at this thing. So just to give you a flavor of what we're going to be looking at tomorrow is when we're watching this euro like this, I just want to show you, this happens to be a daily chart of the euro going back several months, and you can just see the ABCD patterns that are in the euro. Well, how could that be and yet the euro will be something that is nothing related to any commodity. Well, I imagine it is, but the fact that it's a currency is what's important, and the fact that it can be predicted within limits, and within limits is the key to what we're looking at. Now, we're going to have the Shane Man, the Wolf Trader, coming on pretty soon, and I think we'll have a good time. And tomorrow I'll be on the show, and Friday I think that's next Friday. I've got this Friday I'm going to be doing two shows. I'm going to be doing the regular show, and I'll be doing Tom O'Brien's show at 3 p.m. So those are some of the things. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Shane in the house. Are you there, young man?
Good afternoon, Mr. Pesavento. How are you?
Well, you can call me Larry now that you're a big shot with the Orlando Money Show. You can just call me plain old Larry. How's that?
That sounds great.
You did a great job, by the way. I checked with my friends down there, and they were extremely pleased. And I said, well, I trained him for 3 months on that thing. So, of course, they didn't believe that at all. Tell us what we're looking at today with the Fed. What are they going to do, my friend?
Well, what I have on store today is I have an actual preview of what I did in the money show. So what I'll do is I'll get started with that, and then we will move a little bit into some other markets. Real quick, the fear and greed index is pushing about 51. It's still neutral on the overall market, so that doesn't really give us any type of an advantage either way in terms of the contrarian signal, but I just want to point that out because I always like to start that. You have been talking about copper. I do want to point out to your viewers, copper did come into a cycle low yesterday. This green arrow that you see on the chart here, this is the double optimized lunar cycle that we've been running. It takes the astro forecasting to a whole nother level of accuracy. These have actually been the forecasting trades that we've had using the double optimized lunar cycle, and it's just been a beautiful, beautiful addition to our arsenal of tools here. So that's up for a couple of weeks, and in general, copper is positive. So I wouldn't be surprised if copper makes a bounce here. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Well, it's certainly bouncing so far today. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I think it's got a chance to move up here in the next few weeks. All right, let's talk briefly about the money show. Overall, it was a success. This was the first time they came back live since COVID, and I think anytime something comes back for the first time, that's a big step in the right direction. I presented the history of the Fed juice, and I will be returning for the Las Vegas show. I was invited back, so that's a good thing, Larry. You've trained me well. And, but it was a good time, though. So.
Yeah,
the hotel was great.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things. I just want to point a picture out here to show people the economy's coming back online. This is a picture here of Disney Springs. It was like the zombie apocalypse. I got in there, and there were so many people. We had to leave. I've never seen anything like this. There's just so many people that want to get out and get back with their lives. There was a 4-hour wait at the restaurants that we went to. Essentially, we had to leave. So, just visually looking around, I think we've got a big surge of consumers coming in to this economy. Many of these attractions are running at maximum capacity. Disney Springs, I mean, it's crazy. They've had to close national parks, and people want their lives back, I think. So I think you're going to have this from a fundamental standpoint. You're going to have this surge coming in, at least for the next year, maybe two, pushing money back into this economy. So I think that's a positive going forward. This is just a side note here for those of you who ever go to Orlando. We went to this Uno Pizzeria place off of I-4, which is right near Disney Springs, and every restaurant was closed, and we thought it was from COVID. And we were like, what's going on? Everything's closed. And we went into this place here, and they told us that Disney bought out this entire shopping center here off of South Apopka Inland Road, and they're going to make an exit off of I-4 to shoot into Disney. So that was kind of an interesting little side note there that, this place had been there for 30 years, and the whole shopping center is gone now because Disney bought it. So for those Disney investors, maybe that's something of interest. So the money show preview, just real quick here. I'm going to talk about the Fed juice here. Fed juice is at all-time highs right now. This is a weekly time frame. This is really just a very, very strong-looking picture. I don't see any weakness whatsoever with this. I think we're poised to continue higher, likely for a couple more years. And I don't see, the market is responding beautifully to the Fed. And so, I know there's a lot of doom and gloomers out there, but, we've been on the right side of this trade now for the last, for a considerable amount of time since we've been looking at this, the Fed juice at the all-time highs here. So just want to point that out. This was a diagram that I talked about at the money show showing the Fed down here in the light blue, S&P in the white. So I was essentially showing people there's this correlation between what the Fed does down here. If you look at the letter B here, the market rises up here in B. You see the Fed falls down here at the letter C. Market falls at C. So this is a pretty much lockstep. This was right before COVID. Market goes up into this period here. Letter D comes down into the letter E. I do want to point something out to people too, that you notice down here, this is the month of August. The month of August is the new official worst month of the year for the S&P. It's worse than October. October is second place. So I do think our S&P can go up till August, by the way, just throwing that in there. But this shows up over and over again. August is a weak month. But this, essentially, I was just showing how this market moves lockstep with the Fed until we get to COVID-19, which, of course, the market goes against the Fed, but not for long because the Fed came in and was able to recover this market. So what I was essentially talking about was the fact that this, we know that it's the Fed. So now what? What do we do with this? Well, so how do we make the Fed juice into an objective trading signal? Because visually is one thing, having a trading signal is a completely different thing. So the solution was to create this neural network signal, which was the Fed Juice 1.0. This is a relatively old version of the Fed Juice. This was back in 2015. So we created this Fed Juice. So this is where it came from. It's a neural network taking various inputs from the Fed and correlating it with markets. This is a 5-year history of the Fed Juice neural network going back to 2016. You see the different versions here. This is Fed Juice 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. And this is S&P, one contract of the S&P futures. And it generally rises across time. There was a year here where it kind of meandered sideways. But then during COVID, it exploded up in profits while the market was tanking. And then it hits this point right here on the graph where it starts to really falter into here. And this is where the Fed changed things up again. We're going to talk about it in a slide in a second. But this is the actual profit graph of the Fed Juice on one contract, S&P, since 2016. This was right before the 2016 election, right around Brexit, right around that whole period into here. And it's performed very nicely. It's performed very nicely for the last 10 years. This is the first time here where we start to see issues because the Fed changed what they were doing. So this is where I said, well, the Fed is always changing and innovative in its approach. In late October 2020, the Fed's Skynet began and everything changed again. So this is a graph of when the Fed changed everything in late October into here. They started with this new explosion of operations. And so this really affected the Fed Juice because the Fed Juice really was depending on a much slower Fed. This is a much quicker Fed now. The Fed is very responsive now to what is going on with the markets. So we had to develop a faster model to deal with this. And just to give you a perspective of how much this has been an increase, even versus COVID, I'm going to show you the next slide here. This is COVID. So you can see we were at all-time highs here during COVID. This is the S&P down here in white dropping. You can see the Fed comes in here. They did a big pullback here deep into this late October, and then all of a sudden we just get this explosion in here. And this is what I call the Fed Juice Skynet, simply because it goes along with this explosion of controlling the markets.
Okay, we're going to take a break, folks. 877-927-6640. We'll be right back with the Wolf Trader himself, Shane Smulligan.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with a 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I believe we have a caller, Mike from Daytona Beach, Florida. Are you there? Maybe not.
Mike.
Shane, are you there?
I'm here.
Well, we're supposed to have a caller, but he's asking a question about the S&Ps. I guess he wants to know whether it's going to be bullish or bearish. What is your feeling here in the next 2 weeks?
In general, I'm bullish on the S&P for the next couple of months. I think through early mid-August. Mid-August, we're probably going to be heading higher.
Okay. Mike's in the line now. Mike, go ahead, please.
Hey, Shane, I want to thank you for all the great information that you give us. I got a question. I heard you say that you think that possibly the yearly low for the indices, mainly the S&P, may occur in August. My brother has changed jobs, and what he did was he was transferring his 401k into an IRA account, and anyway, he's got a lump sum of money he wants to put to work. But when do you feel it would be best, the best time to put that back into like an S&P index fund?
Well, I can't give you direct advice, but what I can say is this. I don't feel that August is going to be the low of the year necessarily. It's just a weak month. So let me clarify that. I don't think that we're like heading straight down and August is a low. I just think that is a time where we might get a pullback. So that's essentially what I'm saying. So I in general, though, I do feel, I'll just make a general statement. I do feel very bullish about this market, especially in the next couple of months. And then I think we've got a good chance here with the economy coming back online. I think we've got a good chance here for a couple of years. Maybe, 2023, I think that's my longer term projection for some type of a high on the S&P.
Okay.
Mike, if you're thinking of a little shorter term, I have a horse in the 5th race at Aqueduct tomorrow, so let me know and I'll no, I'm just teasing you. I should take Mike, I actually take investing a lot more seriously than that. Go ahead, Shane. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, I'm going to get bad reports on this one.
Thanks,
Go
Mike.
ahead.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks a lot,
you're
Mike.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome, by the way. It's my pleasure. Okay, so what is everybody's favorite Fed line, Larry? Do you know what that is?
The Fed line. I don't even know if they have any lines or not.
On the news. Turn on the news. What do we see? I want to show you the next. The Fed has lost control. Haven't you heard that,
yes,
Larry?
yes. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, they're out of control.
The apocalypse, man. The 7 horsemen are coming out.
Even Paul Tudor Jones even said that. He said they were in la la land.
Yeah, they love to beat on that drum. These are a couple of headlines here. Mm-hmm. This was in June of 2019, right before the big rally. The Fed has lost control. Here's another one. The Powell has lost control of yields, or is it the latest part of the latest part of his playbook? The Fed is out of control. The Fed has lost control of bond markets. Here's a good one that just came out. The impotent Fed policy will fail to contain 1970s type inflation. So this is a big theme that the media likes to play up on. So let's analyze that. Is that true? Is that really true from my perspective? Okay, this is my perspective in terms of what I measure. So not even close. I don't think we're anywhere near that. And believe me, Larry, I would be the first person to tell you it's looking like they're losing control. So people underestimate the Fed in the United States. So this is a quote from Sun Tzu, The Art of War. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So the idea is to study your opponent, and I think most people fall into this second category. They've studied themselves, they've done their due diligence, they keep trade logs, they hire mentors like yourself, but they don't understand what they're up against, which is the Fed. And so that's the big thing. 2008 created a lot of stubborn bears and fantasies of another big short. So Larry, I can't tell you how many people have told me directly, I want to be like that movie. I want to identify the next big flaw in the system. But the problem with that is the S&P kept coming after the highs. Larry, have you seen Rocky 2?
I saw Rocky 1 after. I didn't see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, so I just saw Rocky 1.
Okay, so this is I put this in the newsletter, but this is from Rocky 2. And Apollo Creed wants to take another fight from Rocky, and it's for those that don't know the story. Apollo Creed fought Rocky. It was kind of like a charity thing, and Rocky went the distance with him, and people thought that he beat him. And he wants to fight Rocky again because he's like, look, I want to show everybody that this was a fluke. And he asks the manager, and the manager comes up to him, and he's like, listen, he's all wrong for us, baby. I saw you beat that man like I never saw you beat no man before, and the man kept coming after you. Now, we don't need a man like that in our life. I know what you're feeling. Let it go. And so I feel like I'm the trainer, wolf trader. This is me. I'm trying to tell all these S&P bears, listen, man, in May, that was the biggest chance we had for a decline. And the S&P kept coming after the highs. I mean, the only thing that we saw was a little bit of a chop in May. And I'm trying to tell people, look, the S&P is like Rocky. It's like the Fed is like Rocky. They keep coming after the bears. They keep coming after the highs. So
you're the Burgess Meredith of trading.
Yeah, exactly. So I this is just a kind of a thing, but that's just kind of how I felt. So what would it take for the Fed to fail? Let's examine that for a second. In my view, what it would take for the Fed to fail. Number one, the Fed would have to be operating at max capacity, which they're not. Okay, which we saw in COVID. All emergency lending facilities would have to be open. The bond, mortgage-backed security, repos would have to be at COVID levels. We'd have to see negative interest rates. The next wave of digital quantitative easing would unfold because that's Larry, that's next. I mean, they're going to come with the digital QE next. And number 5, the markets would need to stop responding. This is the biggest thing here. We've never seen the markets stop responding since COVID, but then eventually they did. So right now, none of this is true. So we're not. In fact, they started selling off some of these secondary market bonds. So we're nowhere close to this point. So when people say this to me, I'm like, well, look, I study this every day. This is what I do. We're not even close to that situation. So the final question here is, if the Fed stopped the COVID decline in a ghost economy, why would they be worried now? And the answer is they're not worried. I mean, that's my estimation. They're not worried. Like, we're not even close to being anywhere maxed out just by recent memory of what they've done. And so, this is why I feel positive. And also going by the crowds that I've seen and the people out, pretty much every restaurant that I went to was packed. I mean, it was literally an hour to wait everywhere I went. And I think we've got that to consider from a fundamental standpoint too.
Okay. Well, it makes good sense. It's all common sense stuff that sounds good to me. Wow.
All right. We got some time here to talk about gold.
We have plenty of time. Go right ahead. Oh, we got a break coming up. Start talking about gold, and when we come back, we'll finish talking about gold. Everybody has an interest in that. So
sure.
We'll be right back. Oh, I guess the break is coming up here pretty quick here. Why don't you go ahead and start, and then when you hear the music, you'll know it's time for the commercial. How's that?
Perfect. All right. So gold, generally, I think we're coming into a cycle low here along with copper. And the seasonals are pretty positive here for the next couple of months. So I think gold has a chance at a low here. We'll see if it makes it, but it's got a chance.
Okay, we'll be right back with the Wolf Trader himself, Shane Smolian, 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. We still have Shane Smolian, wolftrader.com, on the line. You want to finish up with the gold, my friend?
Oh, sure. Real quick, before we get there, if anybody needs to contact me, you can reach me at shane@wolftraderfutures.com. The website is www.wolftraderfutures.com and www.fedjuice.com. So we have 6 different newsletters on the markets, one of them being the metals. So we'll get back to the gold here in a second. The only thing right now on this gold is I'd like to see this Fed juice come back into a buy to go along with this double lunar cycle here. That's the only thing right now. They're not synchronized yet, but we do have a cycle low, and this double lunar cycle has been just doing very well. I mean, across the board. This is the gold miners. We also track this. This has been doing very well with the Fed juice. That's still in a sell too, but again, I pay attention to those double lunar cycles because they're so much better than just a regular lunar cycle. This is an example of that little gold miner has been chugging along since 2020, since December. It's been just kind of chugging higher on a $10,000 investment. It's up about $1,600. It just chugs along. It's nothing too crazy, but it does move along with the markets very well here. So we do track everything all the systems that we run. I'm in a stage right now where I'm getting all these inventoried for subscribers so they can check them out.
Well, that sounds great. Listen, hope we'll have you on again soon, and we want to thank you for being on today. You've always got great information, and be safe down there, and don't let this celebrity status get to your head too badly, okay?
I won't, Larry. Thank you so much.
That was a joke, Shane. I was teasing. I know you thought so. Hey, listen, thanks again, buddy, for being on. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Okay. All right, folks. We'll be back tomorrow, 877-927-6648. If you do anything tonight for yourself, folks, go listen to David White on his option stuff tonight from 4 to 5:30. It's worth every penny. He really knows his stuff. I'm going to be there. I enjoy listening to what David has to say because he's Mr. Google in my book. We'll see you all on the flip side, 877-927-6648.